So we're hanging out at Ridge Retreat Campground.
Yep, if you look over our shoulders, it's on beautiful Lake Guntersville here in Alabama.
We think this may very well be one of the best kept secrets in all of northern Alabama.
And what we want to do is walk you through our campground review system, where we have 10 categories that seem to be important to most RVers.
They're important to us at least.
Yes. And of course, with 10 categories, each worth 10 points. No one's gotten the 100 points yet, but let's see how Ridge Retreat Campground does today.
Okay, let's get started.
Let's go. So the first category I want to talk to you about are the sites. How are they? Every RVer wants a wide site, level, and a good concrete pad to hang out on. And guess what? Ridge Retreat delivers on all those points. If you take a look at it, it's nice and wide and level, grass in between you and your neighbor. Just a beautiful site. Plus, check out the view from the site. Each site has its own fire pit, a brand new picnic table, and a grill. And guess what? They're not just a few sites that are great, every one of them in the park. They're all level, they're all big, and they're all but 5 of them are pull through. There's 53 sites, and all but 5 are pull through, and those 5 that aren't pull through are deep and made for big rigs, made for motorhomes. We grade the sites a 10. Good job, Ridge.
So as far as connectivity goes, we have AT&T cell phones. We have all the bars you could possibly get with those. We have T-Mobile internet, and it is a 3 out of 5, which is awesome. You know, it could be better, but we had no trouble there whatsoever. On our TV with our antenna, with no additional satellite or anything like that, we are picking up 31 channels. We're not big TV watchers, but it's there when you want it or need it, and we're able to see the morning news and the weather. So no complaints whatsoever. We'll give connectivity a 10 out of 10.
Let's talk about hookups. Every RVer wants to have full of hookups, or most RVers, some just love boondocking, but we got 30, 50 amp, so we're able to hook up on a 50 amp, water and sewer, so it has everything we need. Because, you know, as I've said before, I travel with somebody that loves having full amenities, full hookups. And what we'll do is give Ridge a 10 on hookups.
So the next category we have is the ease of backing in. As you can see, it's a pull-through site, people. I didn't have to back in. How cool is that? I'll give that a 10. So our next category is the roads.
Yep, we've been in some campgrounds with some terrible roads. But
horrible.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
But Ridge Retreat has some great roads. Mm-hmm. The outer roads are paved, and the ones around the campsites are graveled. So it's a pretty good shape. What would you say?
Yeah. I would say an 8 or a 9.
Yep, I said about a 9.
He said about a 9, so I guess we'll give it a 9. The only problem that I saw is I wish they had better signage, because some of the signs are teeny tiny, and as we were coming in, our campsites are in the very back of the campground, and it's probably a good 2 miles back here, isn't it?
It's a good ways.
It's a good ways back here, and he was leading and I was driving the RV, and I missed the signs totally. If I'd not seen him, I'd had no clue where I was going.
Yeah,
they're small.
I saw them, but they are kind of small.
Yeah.
They're, the reason I didn't say it, she mentioned the sign, but that didn't bother me. But there were a couple of potholes, but not bad at all.
There's only a couple of potholes, and they're not the deep potholes like you see in the 1,000 trails that we've been at. These are just where they've been patched and the patches come off, so they're not bad at all.
Let's say a 9.
Stay a 9. So our next category is the bathhouse and the laundry. Now, if you're coming here for that, you may as well just forget it. They don't exist, at least not at this point in time. If you come here to camp, you have to be fully self-contained, which is what we are, which is what all the others RV are. They do not have a bathhouse as of yet, and they do not have a laundry. This is a new campground, and they're building it in phases, and that's part of the future planned, is to build the bathhouse and the laundry. So if you come here later, it might be here by the time you get here. If it is, be sure you send us a note and let us know. Right now, we're gonna give bathhouse and laundry a 0, just because it doesn't exist.
So let's talk amenities. Now, as we said, this campground reminds us of the state parks, but take a look at this fishing pier. And I wrote down all the things, I didn't want to miss anything that they have, but this huge fishing pier. Yesterday, there were tons of families out here fishing and enjoying the water. And if you look to either side, there's hundreds of feet of shoreline. There's a wedding venue. Lynn got some footage for that, and I'll put that on top of here. But if you're ever considering a wedding, this might be the place to do it. There's 4 or 5 miles of trails in this campground, and they are legit trails. They go through the woods, they go out to the lake and end up with a great view of the Lake Guntersville. Of course, they have horseshoes, hammocks. Lynn and Bella was enjoying that. We saw families in them. It's just a lot of family activities to do here that families seem to be enjoying. A lot of times you go to a campground, you see the kids on the phone, kids playing their videos. Here, families were fishing together, on the swings together, spending time together, and that's what really warmed my heart. There's a playground, a nice dog park that is just about finished up. We took Bella to it and she loved running around in it. And it's just a great campground to ride bikes. There are miles of roads that run through here that we saw people riding their e-bikes on and riding their bikes on. And guess what? If you don't have bikes, they rent bicycles. And they also rent golf carts. They have over a dozen cabins for rent. We would definitely say there's a lot of amenities. Now, what it doesn't have swimming pools, the water slides, pickleball, tennis courts, or things like that. So if you're looking for those kind of things, you won't find it here. But what you will find is a lot of things for the family to do, to spend quality time together, and just to enjoy the peacefulness of it. That's the adjective that really describes this campground, is the peacefulness of it. So Lynn and I were talking, although it doesn't have the pool and things such as that, it had so many more, and we definitely would give it a 7. I think Lynn said an 8.
I say an 8.
We'll split the difference, 7.5. We really like these amenities. They fit us well. We don't travel with a family, so these really fit us well. So after much debate, I think we'll go with Lynn's 8. She said, I forgot to mention the sunset, and those were beautiful. So amenities are an 8.
So let's talk about the staff. The girl at the front desk that checked us in was very nice, very helpful, told me all about the bikes and the golf cart rentals. And then when we were sitting at our campsite one evening, one of the managers came through and she was on a golf cart with her newborn baby, who was so cute. She was just adorable, strapped to her chest. She stopped. I told her I had a couple of questions, and she stood there and talked to us for 20 or so minutes, answered all of our questions, and was just very patient and very kind. So we will give the staff here a 10.
So the next category we want to talk about, and a lot of you want to know about, is the cost and the value. Now, we said this reminds us so much of state park camping. Beautiful, right here on Guntersville Lake. The prices are very, very reasonable. The upper Fawn Ridge sites are $45 a night. On Lakeside is $54 a night. We think it's very reasonable, especially when you realize it's full hookups. So cost per value, we give this a 9.
So last, but definitely not least on our list, are the things to do in the area. And we're gonna give that a huge 10. There is just so much to do in the Lake Guntersville area. Danny?
Yep. Now I'm gonna give you some footage of this in just a second, but I thought I'd just read off all the things that you can do in the area.
Don't go to sleep.
Hopefully you won't. But first, start with Lake Guntersville. 70,000 acres of water.
Fishing.
Well known for its fishing and boating. Huge tournaments are here held throughout the year.
Danny, this would be a good time for you to put the fish in that I caught my bass. Will you put that in here at
I'll
this
do
point?
it.
Okay.
There are 3 state parks nearby, numerous city and county parks that are just beautiful. We went to one, but there are 17 to 18 waterfalls within an hour of this campground right here.
We just didn't have time to hit them all.
There are, if you want to rent a boat, you can rent a boat in there. You can rent kayaks or go kayaking. There's horse riding just nearby. And within 20 minutes, there's all the shopping, restaurants, and those kind of activities that you want to do. There's numerous small towns that just line up along this lake, from Guntersville, Scottsboro. We've done videos on those, so look for those. Albertsville and other cities, and they have all the restaurants you want to eat at, and like I said, all the shopping.
Yeah, now if you just go down the hill to Lake Guntersville, to the Guntersville City, they have a huge new thing, and you can see it in the video, which he'll link, called the City Harbor. And it is just tons of restaurants, and they built it right out on the water, and it's just a really cool place.
Yep. We also want to mention that there's plenty of the Walmarts and Home Depot, so all those needs you might need for your RV parts centers and such. So it has anything and everything you need in this area, and that's why we give it a 10.
Okay, but before we roll that footage, what's our total?
So River Ridge Retreat Campground has earned an 85.
Yes. Now let's say this. If they had have had the bathhouse and the laundry, we weren't sure about grading with this because that's one of the categories we always grade on. So we had to give them a 0 on that. So that would have been possibly 10 more points, which would have made them the highest scoring campground that we've ever done.
We've never had anybody in the 90s, and we've only had maybe one that's been above them. But like Lynn
and they
said,
had bathhouse and laundry.
So
yeah,
it's a beautiful campground, and we
really like it here.
We really like it, and we encourage you to come visit and help this campground grow.
Yep. And now, Danny, you're gonna roll that footage. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It lets us know that you appreciate what we're doing with our videos and that you like them. And it also lets YouTube know that you like them, and they push them out to more people.
And while you're there, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when the next video comes out.
Until next time, God bless and many safe travels.
And go RV, America.